We're going to explore human security and peace building at Royal Roads University. I'm super happy to be joined today by Dr. Kenneth Christie, who is the professor and program head, and myself. My name is Ariana Konjerski. I'm an education specialist, and we're happy to be here with you today. Before we get started, of course, at Royal Roads University, we do like to acknowledge our traditional lands that we rest upon. So we do acknowledge that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Wisepsum and Lekwungen ancestors and families. And it is with gratitude, of course, that we learn and work here, where past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, staff, and faculty come together. So again, thank you all so much for being here. We truly appreciate it. And just a quick overview of maybe what you can expect before we jump into some program information on the session today. We'll just do an agenda, welcome and introductions. That's what we're doing now. I'll just tell you a little bit about the RRU experience before we hand it over to Ken, who will take you through a program overview. We'll also go over the admission and application requirements to finish us off, and questions and conversations. If you have any questions throughout the session, again, feel free to just pop them in the chat. Michael, thank you. Yeah, greetings from New York. That's awesome. We have people from all over the world tuning in, so feel free to chat with us there. So just a bit about Royal Roads University. If it's your maybe first time hearing about us, we're a university and we're located in Victoria, British Columbia. This is some beautiful photos of our campus here. So we have a couple points that I'd just like to take you through before we get into the program. So you'll see the top left-hand corner, that's Hatley Castle. It's quite a famous castle that's been in many movies, TV shows, series over the years, like X-Men and Deadpool. It's a really beautiful building to see, and that's on our campus. On the bottom of that, so bottom left, is the Esquimalt Lagoon. That's actually a migratory bird sanctuary. Royal Roads campus actually has over 500 acres of land and green space that we are resting upon. So that's one of my favorite spots there at the bottom left. It's a really nice place to just clear your mind and focus. And we also have our Japanese garden moving over to the right-hand side, along with all of our other gardens and green space and trails that we have. So that's just a little snippet. Lovely place to be. And then also the bottom right corner, which kind of symbolizes our connection to online learning. And that's something that we've been doing for over 25 years now. So we're really pioneers in online and blended learning. That's something we'll touch on a little bit later in the session, but we're very proud of that. So that's just a little bit about where we are and who we are. And at this time, I will pass it over to Ken to take you through the program overview of the program.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and delighted to be here as usual. My name's Ken Christie. I'm the program head for Human Security and Peacebuilding, and I've been at Royal Roads University since 2009, so about 14 years. I've almost reached the 15-year mark, and I've been running the program basically for 15 years now. So I should know a little bit about it, hopefully. So I'd like to get started on a bit of a program overview and see how this goes. Thanks very much. So thank you. So you probably asked the question, why would you want to study human security and peace building? Well, we get a lot of students from all over the world and from within Canada, of course. And it's a really unique program because we're trying to respond to the increasing demand for leadership in humanitarian assistance, in social reconstruction, in conflict management and peace building in international context. But we're also looking at the local context as well, because if we say that, human security also begins at home, we have a lot of human security problems within Canada, and it affects all sorts of people. And as you probably know, we have a huge Indigenous population in Canada, and they've been affected over the last 200 years by human security problems. So it's something that goes in a domestic context, but it's also something that applies to the international context. the way that we look at peace building is to see peace building as a kind of a broad concept which emphasizes social transformation. We're really interested in changing things for people, changing things in a positive way that benefits and improves their life, a transformational change, if you like, which emphasizes integrating short-term development, for instance, initiatives into long-term sustainable peace processes. So here's a little overview of the Human Security and Peacebuilding programs. First of all, we have the main program. What I would call the main program is a Master of Arts degree in Human Security and Peacebuilding. It's 2 years. It's 36 credits. It's online with 3 residencies, and there's 2 mandatory 2-week residencies and 1 optional 1-week residency. So most students basically come for the 2 weeks in the first year, then 2 weeks in the second year. That's mandatory. You have to come to campus because we have to understand that this is a blended program where students are online and then they actually get to meet the other students, they get to meet the professors who've been teaching them, and they get that kind of great interaction which happens on campus. And students always say this is their favorite part of the course, coming to campus. And it's an incredible kind of campus, as Ariana said. You know, the X-Men and Deadpool were filmed here. I never met Wolverine myself, but you know, I'm sure I heard he was on campus at one point. Then the second part of the program is we have a graduate diploma. If you just want to come for 1 year, that's 18 credits. That's online with 1 residency, and that's 1 mandatory 2-week residency that you have to come for. So that's unavoidable as well, and that's a great experience. Now, the nice thing about doing that graduate diploma is if you don't want to be committed to a 2-year Master of Arts program, you can actually transfer, of course, your graduate diploma. And if you change your mind, you say, oh, you know, I really want to go for the master's degree, you can change your mind and you can finish the diploma, and then you can carry that forward. So you don't have to repeat the whole 2 years again. So it'll just be like another 1 year to get your degree. Thanks, Ariana. So we have a lot of preparatory courses. We have an introduction to academic integrity, for instance, because we realize that some students may have been outside of the academic world for a while. We have a lot of fairly mature students who haven't been at school for some time, so we need to get them prepped up so they understand what coming back into university really means. We have required courses such as Foundations of Human Security and Peacebuilding, Development in Human Security, International Law and Global Institutions, Foundations of Research, and other courses which are really important. So these are courses that are required to get you through your degree. Then basically we have 3 different kinds of tracks in the program. We have a thesis course, a thesis track. If you're interested in writing a thesis, for instance, if you're really interested in a piece of research that you want to do, and a lot of students are, because maybe they want to go and do their doctorate or their PhD afterwards, and they want to do a substantial piece of research which has an impact, for instance, then we have what's called the thesis track. And we take you through all of that when you come to campus, because there's an application process, of course, to do the thesis track. Then there's the other track. The second track is the course-based track, and basically that's all courses. You don't have to do a thesis, you don't have to do an internship. Basically, you do all courses throughout the 2 years that you're doing your master's degree or your diploma, for that matter. And lastly, we have a course-based track with an internship. So you do the courses, but as part of the courses, you will do an internship. This is really popular by people who maybe want to get experience. We have students that go overseas for anywhere between 4 to 6 months, and they work maybe for an international agency. We have a lot of good connections with different groups, and they take on students. You could say you want to go and work with refugees, for instance. In Africa, we have these different options. So people really like this option, actually, the internship also, because it's a way of getting real practical experience. If you've just come out of university with your first degree, with your bachelor's degree, and you want to go and get that kind of experience, which says, this is what the kind of career I want. I want a career in the world of international development, the world of human security and peace building. Some people really like this idea of going overseas, or you don't have to go overseas, of course, as I said before. You can stay in Canada and work at an organization, because we have lots of students who like to do that. They say, oh, I don't have the time or the money or the energy to go overseas. I just want to stay in Canada and find an internship that deals with human security and peace building. And the opportunities are endless in that sense, because, as I say, we have a lot of human security problems at home. You just have to look around you every day, wherever you are. So the next slide, please. Thank you. So here's some sample courses. I'm not going to read them all out, but some of them could be, you could take a course in ethno-political conflict in the Canadian context. You could take a Foundations of Policy and Practice in Humanitarian Action. You could take a course in psychosocial interventions, which is quite popular for those who want to combine different ideas about how to do things, managing stress, trauma, and loss, which, of course, can apply in any situation. I mean, we've just had the pandemic over the past 3 years, and it's been really devastating in terms of trauma for many people. And this is also part of what we do in human security. We're starting to get more Indigenous material into the human security program. We have a course called Indigenous Perspectives on Humanitarianism, which is excellent. But these are all sample kinds of courses which you might take within your second year after you've finished the required courses. Thank you. So how to apply? I'm going to hand it back over to Ariana, who's done such a great job. Thank you for setting this up, this webinar. It's really nice to see it all going well again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was a great overview of what to expect in the program. I'll just take us through a little bit about how to apply. So if you're thinking about applying to this program, just a little bit about what you can expect as you move through the steps here. So we have both standard and flexible admissions at Royal Roads, which is something that we're very proud of. Just touching a little bit on both. First, I'll go over standard admissions. So to be admitted into this program, under standard admissions, what we look for is a 4-year or comparable undergraduate degree with a minimum GPA of a B+ from a recognized post-secondary institution. And then there's a little asterisk there. Relevant and related fields are defined by each program based on disciplinary or professional practices. So you're really required to address that in your personal statement questions. And we'll touch on what a personal statement is in just a second there. But that is a little bit about our standard admissions practices. Again, there's tons of information on our website, royalroads.ca. So if you want to read more in detail on this, that's a great place to look also. Under flexible admissions, so that's applicants who meet a degree requirement but not the GPA requirement will be required to have a minimum of 5 years relevant professional experience. Again, there's the asterisk there. And then applicants without an undergraduate degree at all will normally require 10 years of work experience with a minimum of 2 years professional experience in a leadership or management position. And again, this is not something you select on applying to Royal Roads. This is something that when our admissions team is looking at your documents, that's something that they will make the determination on. So if you don't have a degree or if you have not the GPA requirement, you can still be admitted into our program. So please do not opt yourself out. You can still apply to our programs for sure. And we also have academic writing and critical thinking course several weeks prior to the program, and you must obtain a minimum B+ or 77% in that. How to apply, if you're wondering what the steps are, First, step one is to go online and pay an online application fee of $131.39. And then we ask for some supporting documents. So those supporting documents look like official transcripts if you've done degrees in the past, a personal statement, and I was just touching on that earlier, but really what that is just a moment to kind of sit with yourself and type out in about a page or a couple paragraphs, really why you'd like to be admitted into this program. And thank you to Rhonda, who's our enrollment advisor on the line, for posting some links as well. There's more information about how to write a personal statement on our website as well. A detailed resume is something that we look for too, that really gives our admissions team an idea of who you are and what you've done in terms of work or volunteer experience in the past. So be sure to upload that. And then 2 letters of reference, and those can be one professional and one from an academic setting as well, or 2 professional or 2 academic too. As far as upcoming intakes for Human Security and Peacebuilding, we have one next start date on January 8th, 2024, which feels far away, but is just just around the corner in the coming months. And the application deadline for that is October 8th, 2023 in the fall. It's crazy that it's already the springtime. Of course, we have some services that are available to you in terms of financial aid and awards, and also enrollment services. If you're looking for financial resources, we have things like loans, bursaries, scholarships, student research scholarships, other funding, and emergency funding as well. That's through our wonderful financial aid and awards team. They are really great. They can be reached at Admission Financial Aid Awards. The link is on the screen, or of course, you can just search that on our website. We also have enrollment services, so thank you to Rhonda again. They can be reached at learn.more@royalroads.ca. There's also a few phone numbers there, as well as a toll-free for North America. They're really wonderful. They can help you narrow down program options. They connect you with alumni and students, and really can talk it out with you. So if you have any questions at all, please do reach out by email and they can help you out there. As far as the presentation part, that does wrap us up. If there are any questions, feel free again, as we've done throughout the presentation, please do pop them in the chat. We don't have any more slides, but Ken, is there any last things that you'd like to say to the folks here or people watching the recording?
Just thanks for coming along and listening, and I hope whatever decision you make, of course, it's an important decision, and you have to think carefully about it, and do what's best for you. I mean, that's really important, because coming into like a master's program can be a life-changing decision, and it's important that you get as much out of it as possible. So if you do have questions, you can actually email me. I'm not sure if Ariana could put my email on the screen, but it's kenneth.1christie@royalroads.ca. So I'm happy to take your emails or your questions if you have any worries or concerns about what you're going to be getting into. If you do decide to come into HSPB, please let me know. That'd be great.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ken. Yeah, I did type your email there
Thank
in
you.
the chat. Yeah, of course. So again, feel free to reach out. You can also chat with him, chat with Rhonda or anyone from our enrollment advising services. And yeah, that will wrap us up for today. I don't see any questions in the chat, but again, please feel free to reach out, and we hope to see you at another webinar in the future. Hope to see you in the program soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody.